People who can speak multiple languages, what language do you think in?
I'm fluent in English, Vietnamese is my mother tongue, speak a little French. I mainly think in English since I moved to US, but my dreams come in Vietnamese still. French when I speak French, English when I speak English. Sometimes English when I speak French. I'm French though. That's weird. It's interesting to see so many people with English as their second or third language and they only think in English. Interesting stuff. I am fluent in both Spanish and English, but I only think in English lol.
My first language, Romanian second, German third, English my brain, fuck your mother language, let's go with English.
First language, Danish. Second language, English. Third language, German. It switches between Danish and English. Edit, rip my inbox.
Parents whose kids went on to be porn stars, prostitutes, etc., are you proud of them? Why or why not?
Looks like there hasn't been a single reply from the people you are actually asking.
Really should have used the serious tag for this one.
I recently found out my stepmom was a prostitute and that my dad was a customer. NGL, I was very grossed out at first, but now I see that they really love each other.
I'm expecting a whole lot of not a parentess and not my kid but s in this one.
I respect them and their paychecks. Some I know are making a ridiculous amount equivalent to annual salaries in a month.
People who were adopted when they were old enough to remember it, how long did it take for your adopted family to feel like your family?
About a week, and when they told me I didn't have to ask permission every time I wanted food. I was like, well, this is family.
About 2 months, that's when I asked if I could call her mom. She cried and I felt bad because I didn't know happy tears were a thing when I was 5. Edit, wow, my first gold in 5 years. Thank you, kind strangers. Sorry I made you all cry, haha.
Always felt a part of the family, but even more so when my nan happily patted my stomach and exclaimed, "You're getting the family belly. I miss you, Nan."
What's a good psychological trick that you use with success most of the times?
One of the best ways for cementing your knowledge of something is to teach it to someone else.
Tell someone, if I can make your hand flip over without touching it, will you buy me, insert whatever, then ask them to put their hand out, and when they do, say no the other way.
In an argument, find something to agree on, then push your main point. I have had great success using this method and it always works.
If my kids are giving me a hard time about eating something, I tell them it's okay, they're probably not big enough yet, then they eat it to prove me wrong.
The Bible is now a high-budget anime. Which scene do you look forward to the most and why?
Judges 15:15, finding a fresh jawbone of a donkey, he grabbed it and struck down 1,000 men. Samson was a fucking Bible badass. Anything with the angels, angelic beings, provided they're illustrated as they're meant to be, you know, with a fuck ton of heads and wings and oddly shaped and objectively horrifying.
The time some king traded his daughter for a pile of foreskins.
Moses gone part the sea with a fucking Beyblade.
I don't know. I didn't read the manga.
Jesus kicking the shit out of the money changers in the temple.
The end of days, book of Revelation, of course. Then again, considering everyone and everything dies, Evangelion pretty much covers it already.
Cameramen working in the porn industry, how do you feel watching other people having sex on a daily basis? Do you get an erection, or how did it change your family life?
Here before the countless not a porn cameraman but comments.
Ooh boy, this is one worth saving. I'll be back in a couple hours.
What's more awkward than staying at a friend's house and waking up before them?
Getting caught masturbating while staying at a friend's house. Pooping in their toilet and then finding out it won't flush.
Having a little kid stare at you through the crack in a bathroom stall door who then cries after you say brew.
Being the first one to walk into a classroom with a teacher in it. Since it's your class, you can't just leave once you walk in. But you look like a lonely idiot with the teacher trying to make small talk with you until others come in.
When you hold open a door for someone completely misjudging the amount of time it'll take for them to get there.
Their parents fighting.
Teachers who ended up working at schools that you attended as a student. What behind-the-scenes secrets, dirt, or teachers' lounge gossip did you learn that you were clueless of as a student?
The biggest surprise for me was that the teacher I adored as a kid is actually a douche. I loved him as a teacher when I was 14 years old, but I can't stand him as a colleague.
All the staff hated the deputy principal as much as the students did, if not more.
I found out the school I work at has a decommissioned shooting range in the basement.
We recently discovered that my girlfriend's teacher, who would occasionally break down crying during class when the kids were being particularly childlike, was dealing with cancer during that time.
You're taken from your bed in the middle of the night and forced onto a stage at a comedy club. The loudness of the audience's laughter dictates if you are shot or not, and you're allowed one joke or anecdote to tell. What joke do you choose?
I once saw a man squatting behind a grave. "Mourning," I said. "No, just having a shit," he said.
I can tell if someone is lying just by looking at them. I can tell if they're standing too. I'd either die from everyone groaning or live if there's enough dads in the audience.
What's a black flag that suggests the person you're dating is a pirate?
They have a thing for the booty.
Open his /her computer. If your torrent pops up, there's your pirate. Their love of rum and their irrational anger when it's gone.
The flag with skull and bones on it?
Hey, you wanna watch The Office? Yeah, but they took it off Netflix, right? Netflix?
They know when talk like a pirate day is.
Definitely the wooden peg leg.